Most people, when they think of oil and oil effects, they think of an oiled penguin. And I have to admit that often these past few weeks I feel like one of those oiled penguins. I'm kind of saturated with this oil spill. But in fact, oil has lots of other effects. Part of it is simple physical coating. That is, oil can block air passageways, it can coat gills or other respiratory surfaces, it can decrease the efficiency of all the sensory organs, taste, smell, sight, decreasing the ability of the animals to catch food or to escape predators, to find prey, or to avoid other dangers. It decreases the effectiveness of feathers and fur for insulation. It decreases buoyancy. It does lots of effects that are simply from contact. Beyond that, oil has toxic effects. There are many different kinds of toxic effects. Most people think of oil as a solution. That's not the case. Oil is a very complex mixture of hundreds of compounds. Each of those component compounds of this oil mixture has its own unique properties, its own toxicities, its own persistence, and they have different effects. So these different components of oil affect lots of different organ systems, lots of different tissues. You can get ulcerations of surface tissue. You can cause damage to respiratory structures. You can affect blood cells, spleen, organ systems throughout the animals. It affects development, particularly embryonic development of lots of the early life history stages of these 8,332 species. By the way, I was just out kayaking Sunday in the wetlands area of the Texas coast, and as you get close to any island or any wetland area, all the birds start going nuts because they're protecting their chicks. The skimmers, the egrets, the terns are out there right now nesting, and all those chicks that are out there are also doing the exact same thing, same species, on the Louisiana coastline, for the offshore islands and in the wetlands. So these young are affected indirectly and directly. Their parents, if they're lost, these young will starve. If the parents bring back tainted food, the young are affected by the oiled foods. And then, of course, there are lots of indirect effects of the oil, and these indirect effects are decreased growth rates of the animals. Even if the animal doesn't come into contact with the oil itself, it may have decreased food availability. The prey may have been affected. Anyway, there are lots of different indirect effects of the oil because of its effects through the food web. Most of our concerns about this oil spill are based upon uncertainty. We've never faced an oil spill in the U.S. of this magnitude. This is the largest. We've never faced these deep undersea plumes with this tremendous volume. We don't know how that's going to act. We've never faced an oil spill that has had almost 1 million gallons of dispersant used on the oil. We don't know how all of that's going to play out. We should know more about this. There should have been research in advance on how to handle these kind of spills, how to handle a blowout, and that's what it really is. It occurs at 5,000 feet depth, but we don't have that. So at any rate, we're facing all of these ecological fears primarily because of uncertainty. We don't know how long this spill is going to last, what the ultimate volume is going to be, and I think all of our concerns are justified. And I'll pass on to Dr. Robert Twilley now.